This is Bernie Sanders. He was this in Wisconsin? It was a town hall with Chris Hayes, which I mean, honestly, just even the temerity that Chris Hayes has to even look at Bernie Sanders after what he did to him. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, these are co-conspirators.
These are co-conspirators. Yeah, that's right. Well, Bernie, oh, no, okay. Well, you'll get me a new Eugene Debs poster if I sell my supporters out? Well, consider the endorsement done, Hillary. This is Bernie. I believe this interaction starts with he's talking to a panel. It's Bernie and a panel of people. There's questions from a broad section of people in the audience, including this woman of the Islamic faith, asking questions. And then on the stage, it's Bernie and a group of people that voted for Trump. In this exchange, Bernie basically persuades a woman who I think in some ways would kind of be the archetypal Trump supporter. I mean, in the sense that what's fascinating about this woman is she is actually kind of everything that has been projected on Trump supporters in one package. I don't actually know how normal that is, but she is both probably pretty xenophobic, not thrilled about immigrants, not a high information person, but also someone who is genuinely struggling, has real grievances, and is totally right when it comes to inequality and power imbalance. Bernie speaks to her here. Let's take a look.
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah, please.
You know, I'm
Can I ask
sitting
two
here.
things?
Oh, thank you. I might make it three. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to all this. And, you know, as she says, who's paying for this? Right? Who's paying for the Medicaid? Who's paying for the Social Security? Who's paying for the Medicare? Who? Thank you. We are. Now, have any of you seen down on streets that it seems as though we have become the silent minority and not the majority?
What do you mean by that?
How much have we been listened to, really?
But who's the we when you say this? You mean
Us people.
who people?
The
White
people who need the Medicare, the people who need the Social Security, who needs the help with the education.
Okay, but now here's good point. Let's see if we can go forward on this. I am assuming that you believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that we should not cut Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid. Is that correct or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it shouldn't be cut.
Okay. Do you know who is now working very hard to try to do that? Republicans in Congress have a plan under the guise of saving Medicare and saving Social Security, making devastating cuts. That's what Republicans are now trying to do. The other point that you made, which is I think you made it, or both of you have made it actually, is who's going to pay for this stuff? And that is a very fair point. What all of us should know is that over the last 25 years, there has been a massive transfer of wealth in this country from you to the top 1/10 of 1%. In other words, the middle class has shrunk and trillions of dollars have gone to the top 1/10 of 1%. Do you think it's inappropriate to ask those people to start paying their fair share of taxes so we can adequately fund Medicaid and making public colleges and universities tuition free? Is that an unfair thing to ask?
I don't think it's an unfair thing to ask. The 1%ers, they got rich off us.
That's right.
So it's time they put back.
Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Bernie's such a boss. First thing I did notice is she had her arms folded like Kanye. That was an interesting thing to note. But no, look, I think what's interesting about that is I have no doubt, right? Like when she was first saying we've become a silent minority, that meant a lot of different things. And it did not just mean that we working people have been effed over by corporations and inequality. That's obviously true. They have, and she was speaking partially to that. But let's also be real as leftists making the economic argument about what she was also saying, okay? And I'm not trying to demonize this woman, but if you don't hear some
between the lines attitude.
Yeah, if you don't hear the between the lines attitude of that clip, you're being willfully ignorant to what she's saying. Now, Bernie, as a politician, handled it very correctly, which is that he leveraged it to get to the desired outcome. I think sometimes he can finesse this better. I think sometimes he needs to be more proactive in bringing up the racial elements. But I think that in this case, in this scenario, this is the play. You redirect the resentment to the right source. You downplay the toxicity. If the toxicity becomes, honestly, if I was Bernie, I might speak a little bit more directly to that toxicity. But the overall play is you get it to the right terrain. And when you get it to the right terrain, there is no normal person, including, by the way, normal people of color in every conceivable background, that thinks that they should continue to subsidize and provide the labor for beyond medieval levels of inequality while their prospects shrink economically. So there's a lot to learn there.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Subscribe.